5 smart comebacks that instantly shut anyone down. Why most people lose arguments. Have you ever been in a situation where someone disrespected you, and in that exact moment, you said nothing? Or maybe you reacted emotionally and later regretted it? The truth is, most people don't lose arguments because they're wrong. They lose because they don't know how to respond under pressure. When emotions take over, logic disappears. And that's exactly what rude or manipulative people rely on. They want you to react, to lose control, to say something you can't take back. But imagine if instead of reacting, you had the perfect response ready, something calm, sharp, and powerful enough to shut the situation down instantly. In this video, you're going to learn 5 smart comebacks that don't just win conversations. They give you control, respect, and emotional dominance without raising your voice. 1. That's an interesting perspective. The art of calm detachment. One of the most powerful things you can do in a tense situation is to remain completely unaffected. When someone throws negativity at you, whether it's sarcasm, criticism, or passive-aggressive remarks, they're expecting a reaction. They want you to defend yourself or argue back. But when you respond with, "That's an interesting perspective," you completely break that expectation. This response works because it doesn't validate their opinion, but it also doesn't challenge it directly. It places you in a position of calm observation rather than emotional involvement. Psychologically, this creates confusion for the other person. They don't get the reaction they were hoping for, which makes their comment lose its power. Over time, people learn that they can't easily provoke you, and that alone commands respect. The key here is delivery. Say it calmly, without sarcasm, and follow it with silence. That silence is what makes the other person uncomfortable and forces them to reflect on what they just said too. What do you mean by that? Turning the pressure back. This comeback is simple, but incredibly effective because it shifts the spotlight. When someone makes a rude or disrespectful comment, they often hide behind ambiguity. They rely on indirect insults or jokes so they can deny responsibility if confronted. But when you calmly ask, "What do you mean by that?" you force them to clarify their statement. Suddenly, the pressure is no longer on you, it's on them. Now they have to explain themselves, and most people aren't prepared for that. They may stumble, backtrack, or try to laugh it off. This response exposes hidden disrespect and makes people think twice before speaking carelessly around you. It also shows confidence because you're not afraid to address the comment directly. The power of this comeback lies in your tone and timing. Don't rush it. Ask the question, maintain eye contact, and let the silence do the rest. In many cases, the conversation will end right there because the other person realizes they've been caught. 3. I don't think that deserves a response. The ultimate power move. There are moments when engaging at all is beneath you, and this comeback makes that clear. Saying, "I don't think that deserves a response," is a direct yet controlled way of setting a boundary. It communicates that you recognize the negativity, but you're choosing not to participate in it. This is especially effective when dealing with people who thrive on drama or attention. By refusing to engage, you remove the fuel that keeps their behavior going. What makes this line powerful is the message behind it. It shows that you value your time and energy too much to waste it on meaningless conflict. However, this only works if you deliver it with composure. If you sound angry or defensive, it loses its impact. But if you say it calmly and confidently, it becomes a statement of authority. After saying it, disengage completely. Don't argue, don't explain, and don't look back. That's how you truly shut someone down. 4. You might be right. The unexpected disarm. At first, this comeback might seem weak, but it's actually one of the smartest strategies you can use. Most arguments exist because both sides are trying to prove themselves right. When you say, "You might be right," you remove the resistance that fuels the conflict. This doesn't mean you're agreeing with the person. It means you're choosing not to engage in a pointless battle. Psychologically, this disarms the other person because they were expecting opposition. Without that opposition, their argument loses momentum. In many cases, they won't even know how to respond, because the tension they were building suddenly disappears. This approach also reflects emotional intelligence. It shows that you're secure enough not to argue over every opinion or criticism. You're not trying to win, you're choosing peace and control. This comeback is especially useful in situations where the argument has no real value or when the other person is too stubborn to reason with. Sometimes, the smartest move is simply not to play the game 5. I'm not available for this conversation. The boundary setter, this is one of the strongest and most respectful ways to shut someone down. Instead of reacting emotionally or attacking the other person, you clearly state your boundary. I'm not available for this conversation. This response is powerful because it shifts the focus from them to you. You're not trying to change their behavior, you're controlling your own involvement. It sends a clear message that you will not tolerate disrespect, negativity, or toxic communication. Many people struggle with setting boundaries because they feel the need to justify themselves, but this line requires no explanation. It's direct, confident, and final. When you use it, you're teaching others how to treat you. And if they don't respect that boundary, you reinforce it by walking away or ending the conversation. Over time, people will understand that you're not someone they can easily provoke or manipulate. That's real power to view away these comebacks. Work, the psychology behind silence and control. What makes these comebacks so effective isn't just the words, it's the psychology behind them. Most conflicts are driven by emotional reactions. When someone provokes you, they're trying to pull you into their emotional state. But when you respond with calmness and control, you break that cycle. These comebacks work because they remove emotional fuel, shift the pressure back onto the other person, and establish clear boundaries. They also create a sense of unpredictability. When people can't predict your reaction, they lose their sense of control. And in social dynamics, control often determines who holds the power. By staying calm and choosing your responses carefully, you position yourself as someone who cannot be easily influenced or shaken. That alone commands respect without needing to say much. How to deliver these comebacks effectively even. The most powerful words can lose their impact if they're delivered incorrectly. The first thing to focus on is your tone. Speak slowly, calmly, and clearly. Avoid raising your voice or sounding defensive. Confidence is communicated through control, not volume. The second element is body language. Maintain steady eye contact, keep your posture relaxed, and avoid nervous movements. This reinforces the message that you're in control of yourself and the situation. Third, learn to use silence. After delivering your comeback, don't rush to fill the gap. Let the other person sit with your response. That silence creates pressure and makes your words more impactful. Finally, avoid over-explaining. The more you try to justify yourself, the weaker your position becomes. Keep your responses short and precise. That's what makes them powerful. Real power is emotional control. At the end of the day, the goal isn't to win arguments or shut people down for the sake of ego. The real goal is to protect your peace and maintain control over your emotions. When you master that, no one can manipulate you, provoke you, or bring you down to their level. These 5 smart comebacks are tools, but the real strength comes from how you use them. Practice them, internalize them, and most importantly, focus on staying calm in every situation. Because the person who controls their emotions always controls the outcome.